What's going on? 4th and 5. Josh Throne here with another week of getting defensive with Matt Harris. Matt, we appreciate you being here, man. I'm going to be honest with you, Matt. I'm going to be real with you, brother. I took maybe a couple days off of Arkansas Razorback football after that game this past weekend, and I'm excited to be back in it. Be back in it with you. You always get me hyped up. You get my
Yeah.
Razorback spirit back. But let's just dive right into your feelings last week after the game. I know you're watching it down in Dallas. What'd you think?
Yeah, man. Tough to take a loss. That was a very winnable game,
Hmm.
obviously. We all did our predictions. We think Mississippi State, what we got coming up this week, and Auburn were two pretty, if you want to call them easy wins for us. So it's pretty hard to swallow. But from a defensive perspective, if we're competing with the offense, like DJ, and Grant, like we mentioned this, I remember how many shows back, but like if the offense wasn't doing good, we'd be chirping at our offense. If the defense wasn't doing good, they'd be chirping at our defense. We competed within the game, Josh, and defense won this week. All right. I don't want to hear nothing about how we don't have the talent, blah, blah, blah. The coaching staff, he doesn't have his guys. Like they went out there and produced
Hmm.
against a good Auburn team. I mean, Auburn doesn't have the record, but this is an SEC caliber team, just like Mississippi State. They're on a four game loss, but mess around with Mississippi State, and we'll take an L. There's talent at every team in this league, including the Arkansas Razorbacks. So I was proud of the defense. I thought they had a tremendous productive game. Uh, Nothing was perfect. The one big thing that I was not happy with was their ability to run on us all year, Josh. We've had
Right.
weak edges, and it's driving me crazy because, if our linebackers aren't getting outside, if someone's getting out leveraged, eventually someone's going to make up the gap, take the space, and no one's really stepping up. Larry Worth had a couple times where he set a good edge, but more often than not, man, it goes back to Ole Miss and Notre. I mean, we've been talking about it all year, and
Hmm.
specifically, teams are watching the film. I can tell you how they break down film. They go look at how Memphis beat us. Okay, they go look at how Tennessee was able to run all over us. So that's one thing that if we can clean that up, something that was really exciting this week. Mr.
Hmm.
Sorey was on the line. Big Cam Ball was out, and so we were
Yeah, I
talking
did.
about it
I did
earlier.
like seeing that. I like seeing him,
Yeah,
playing a little
well,
defensive end.
Josh, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Cam Ball's out. We hadn't won an SEC game. Pull out all the stops. He
Right.
reminded me so much of a guy. I'm not going to compare him to it, but he looked like Michael Parsons out there. He had a
Yeah.
great
I mean,
motor, super
definitely how we
athletic.
were using him.
Quarterback was terrified. He had a sack. He had another pressure. That quarterback's like, hey, number 10's kind of been in my face. It produced a Quincy Rhodes sack. Like we put him on the interior now, and we did a D line. Like we'll get into the film, but
Matt, is
I
it is
saw
it
a lot of
bad that I look at this Auburn Arkansas game and I, when I hear about the defense playing well, that I'm not giving them the credit that I should be
yeah,
giving them because I'm like, oh well, it's Auburn and they're terrible. Like, take me into the mindset of playing defense. I mean, it's
yeah,
still Auburn, right? These guys are still, you know, good. You should hang
yeah.
your hat on this as a defense,
They're
right?
dudes. Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's two thoughts to that. One is we have not performed well enough all season, right? There's been a couple of games where we've had some decent games. This one was bar none our best game. Never underestimate a conference game. When you're in the SEC and
Yeah.
you got SEC play, it doesn't matter. I mean, look what we did against A&M. We're winless SEC team, and we gave them their biggest fight all year. Mess around and find out. That is the definition of the SEC, man. You go down to Vandy now, and you can't get an easy win. So you never take that stuff for granted. But there's things like we talked about the rush game and stuff that they still were able to be productive in that Auburn game. You just want to build on the good things and correct the bad. It sounds simple, but you did the same thing since Pop Warner, man. Fix the stuff
Right.
that needs to be fixed and continue to build on the production that you guys had this past game.
But I have a hard time right now, man. I'll be honest with you,
I
because
know. Yeah,
gosh, it was deflating. The Auburn game. You felt like things
yeah.
changed. You felt like, even
Well,
for
they
me. I
changed
mean,
all
look,
right.
you know, I I think with the current, what I believe to be the reality of the coaching opportunities and the coaching
Mhm.
candidates at Arkansas, I think Bobby Petrino is your best option right now until you start presenting me with better options, that are realistic. So, but even saying that, that
Yeah.
Auburn game's deflating for that Bobby Petrino train, right?
Right.
There's the because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, whether it matters or not, whether it's truly uh his team, where you can truly judge him as a head coach
Mhm.
with this team as a whole, all the coaching decisions, the 6 years of Pittman's decisions that have led to what is now,
Yeah.
can you truly judge Petrino on that after a couple weeks of having the head coaching job, and not being able to produce, a win, which he needs in
Yeah.
order to put his name in the hat, legitimately have a
Yeah.
strong position for the head coaching job. So I left that game deflated, going, even as much as fair as you can be, I still think you have to have a win under your belt,
Yeah.
really two, to start being truly
Yeah.
considered for the job. It's just hard to sell it,
Yeah.
to sell that to fans, to sell that to recruits, and to really kind of have that
Yeah.
momentum, that a new coach would bring if you hired him at the end of the season. So I say all that
Yeah.
to say, if you're in that locker room, you're talking to this team right now. Um, you know, how you getting that energy out of them, to compete week in and week out when you're kind of looking at that bowl game reality dwindling, if not
Yeah.
completely out, right?
Yeah. It's probably out. It's all right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I don't like to ever, give up hope, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
how I am. I'm just born
Yeah.
that way. I'll go down swinging. I'll go down with the ship.
I like it.
But
Yeah.
what are these guys still playing for film? They're still playing for NIL. They're still playing for scouting
Yeah.
film. But I mean, what are you telling them if you're the coach?
Yeah, man. I think you just kind of at the very end there hit the nail on the head. You were like, yeah, but that's just the way I am. I like to think like that. And
Mhm.
Josh, at the end of the day, you just gotta love ball, man. What are the players made of at this point? That's what I'm curious about. I had the rare experience of having a lot of drama with that room, and eventually they ran him out of town. We ended up playing a bowl game with Reggie Herring, and so like I didn't get a mid-season fire. That's unique, but there was whispers. And at the end of the day, you lock in and you play football, man. You got Mississippi State, and you got Texas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got games in front of
Yeah.
us, like, and winnable
Right.
games. So you stay focused, Josh. It's not cliche. You take it one practice at a time, one game at a time, because you are like, if you're not there and you don't love ball and you're not trying to play on Sundays, then I want you gone anyway. So, um, I think we've seen some of that with some of these players. It's not extremely fair to say because it is a weird year. A lot of that we'll point out on film here, like the coaching questions, at least on some of the alignment stuff on the defensive front, puts those guys in bad positions to be successful. So at the end of the day, though, Josh, you're playing football. You are a scholarship guy getting paid to play football at this point at the University of Arkansas. Every week you're playing on national TV. Like, do you want to play in the NFL? That's what I always thought. Like, I always, remember big old Kareem, like, he good. I mean, I played
But he
against
ain't
him.
going to the league.
He ain't going to the league. That was always the stick. That was
Yeah.
always the measuring stick, man. Like,
Right.
you could be a 4-year starter, and if you're not good enough to go to the league, it was like, yeah, man, you just played in college.
Right.
And that was,
It's
I'm
it's so funny
sure.
how you go from high school. It's like, oh, you're not going to college. You ain't going
Yeah,
to college. Second you accomplish it, it's like, you
yeah.
ain't going to the
Ain't
league.
going to the league, man. But that was that locker room, and I
Yeah.
do not know if
Yeah.
that locker room is made up of that. Because we had the same guys with Houston Nutt, and then Petrino came and he started getting his recruits, and it's not his recruits. And a season later, we're winning the Liberty Bowl, we're a top 25 team, and then we go to the Sugar Bowl. Like, this is with a mixture of Houston Nutt and Bobby Petrino guys within 2 seasons. We were
Yeah.
a field goal away from making a bowl that very first year with Bobby,
Yeah.
with Coach P. So it just the guys need to play for themselves at this point, and not a selfish way. They still, I mean, there's a locker room. Like, if y'all don't love each other in that locker room, then that's an issue. So at least be playing for your own tape to play on Sundays. If you're kind of transfer portal, I heard Deion Sanders was really cool. He held a practice for the guys that haven't played a lot this year, so they could put together portal tape. We're like, hey, a lot of you guys are probably going to transfer because you didn't play this year, but you don't have a lot of tape. So he's like, we're going to scrimmage y'all and let you send that out. If you're a starter and you're playing in the SEC and you
Yeah.
go like Kanai Walker and you go to pick six, your value literally in today's football game just went up. So go be good. Sorry just showed that he can rush off the line and go be productive and get a sack and a quarterback pressure. Like, guys get paid millions of dollars to do that in the NFL. Micah
Yeah, well,
Parsons just got into a huge contract disagreement with Jerry Jones because he
right.
did it so well. So let's go. Sorry, go be that guy.
Well, Matt, with the situation that's at hand in Arkansas football right now,
Yeah,
you know, and until we have another coach or we have a list of coaches or that we can
yeah,
truly assess and say these are legitimate people,
yeah.
I'm gonna act like Bobby Petrino is most likely our head coach until I hear otherwise. And
Yeah.
then, with that being said, side note, the coaching position and the coaching hunt just got a whole lot harder with LSU firing their coach. We'll
Right.
probably talk about that pregame show this week and
Yeah,
maybe dive into some more coaching stuff. But with all that being said,
yeah,
if Bobby Petrino is the coach for
yeah.
us and it remains that way, well, then he's
Mhm.
going to need a defense. So let's go ahead and dive into some defensive tape to see how we can get better. And Matt, we've talked a lot about him needing defense and how important that is. And
Knees and nuts, Josh.
yes,
Knees and nuts,
for our
baby. Go
viewers
get a
out
personal
there,
foul. Who
right?
cares?
For our viewers out there, um, we went back. Grant Cook actually, I don't know, he was at work, but he made us an entire Excel sheet of dating all the way back to the Houston Nutt era,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
defensive points allowed, and then the
Mhm.
offensive points scored.
Yeah.
Um, and it's pretty evident that whenever our defense is sub 22 points allowed on average for the season, we start winning 9, 10,
Exactly.
11 games.
You're a
When we
national
don't have that,
Yeah.
you have these more mediocre seasons and sometimes terrible seasons, even when this is a unique year. We've averaged close to the
Yeah.
most points that we've, top three, top four seasons out of
The last
all Nuts
25 years.
years, the McFadden years, the early Petrino years, the Kendall Brile years, Billima, so on and so forth. Top four maybe seasons in offensive production this year, or at least points scored. But without the defense, it doesn't matter. So here we are. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Get it brought up here, Matt. Hold on one second here. Let me
Look at
see.
that backdrop, y'all.
Come
Did you see that?
on. What is
Can I get some
happening?
comments? Can someone help my
Can you
guy?
believe this? We got a lot going on, Matt. We got a lot going on.
Hey, y'all. If you don't think Josh works hard,
There we
man,
go, baby.
just look at his backdrop.
All right.
Gives me anxiety.
So let's dive into this first play here because
All right.
this is a
Second and 11. Remember when we
yeah.
break down film, Josh? Down a distance, personnel. It's second and 11. You're in the red zone. I don't want to see you backpedal. They're in a bunch formation. They're using a lot of tight ends. We got Sorey coming off the boundary edge here.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks like Micah Parsons. It's awesome. We're down 7-0. Look at this pressure. He takes the chip block from the running back, forces a bad throw. Josh, that right there, guys get paid millions to do.
Right.
Guys get paid millions of dollars to do that right there, to take on not only the left tackle, which is traditionally your best pass blocking offensive lineman, and to at least entertain and go steal a little bit of that running back's attention.
Mhm.
Go chip block. And that's probably a play. But look at that. Does a spin move. He hasn't been practicing that stuff all
Right.
week. That's called a natural jock, man. That's an athlete.
Yeah.
Now, one thing why he gets paid so much, I'm not hating on Kanai Walker. He had a great game. He was the defensive player of the year, or of the year, I wish, of the week this week. He had a great game. That forces turnovers. So that was just an example of him going up and like reaching for the ball. Hey, at least his eyes are on the ball and he's going to
Yeah,
reach
so I
for it.
love that
But
we're getting.
it starts with
I
story.
love we're getting creative because that's what you got to have, especially when you got a D line that doesn't have a lot of depth, that's already
Right.
struggling as is. But I think kind of this
Right.
creativity has almost unlocked us. Something that we could have used earlier this year. No, if we
Yeah.
knew he could edge rush like that, if we had played this way before,
Yep.
maybe we could have tapped in that
Yep.
a little bit earlier. And we're going to see a little
Yep.
bit more
It's
of that.
because Cam Ball was out. We've moved Quincy Rhodes down. You'll see here, 3rd and 10, Josh. I mean, the fact that Cam Ball was out is the only reason Sorey's on the line. We're running a bunch of 3-down lineman look, but Sorey's really the 4th. That's what they were doing. They're running a 3-3-5 this week versus our traditional 4-3-5. Defensive backs are always interchanged. When you start messing with the defensive linemen, man, that's when stuff. And look at this. Quincy Rhodes lines up in the defensive tackle position and the defensive end, and him run a stunt. And he just goes straight up field. Watch him. It's beautiful. He's on the interior. He would have never been there, or at least I haven't seen him be productive. and the interior, because when you get on the interior, the closer you get to the center here, that's where the big boys are.
Right.
You really, if you can make pressure up the center, Josh, again, you're going to get paid millions. You're going to play on Sunday. These are the most valuable guys in the field. Look at that. Quincy Rhodes just bowls by that guy because it was a good twist, good coaching, right? If you're going to hate on the coaches, you're going to hate on the players, you got to tip your cap to them when they make a good, productive play
God,
like this. I mean, this was
this is what
this
we've
is a
been
good play
looking
all
for
around.
from a Matt, and you
That's what
hate to
we're
have
looking
this type of
for.
defensive performance
I
paired up
know.
with, your offense falling off.
Well, hey, look, you got 3 sacks, you got 4 tackles for loss, you got 3 pass breakups and a pick 6. Do that for the rest of the year, Josh. Maybe we do win out and go to a bowl game. If their offense can play like it's supposed to, that was the oddity last week,
Right.
right? 3 picks in the fourth quarter. Like, that doesn't happen. Taylor Green doesn't do that often. Coach P's offense isn't set up like that. But they laid an egg. They lost the game for us. Everyone knows it. Defensive comes out and does stuff like this. And then they do stuff like this. I don't know why we can't stop the run on the edge. That Jordan Young jumps inside when he's on the slot receiver. I can tell you right now, he's got the force. So it just, right there, when you're in the boundary, into the field like that, and you've got a removed receiver, 9 times out of 10 at least, you have what we call as the force. If not, it's the safety. So one of those 2 guys, Josh, is supposed to just go outside of that slot receiver. That's the alley, because our linebacker, you'll see, is fighting. Look at our defensive end. Look at the linebacker. They're on the outside shoulders
Mhm.
of their gaps. That's the gap where they are supposed. That's disciplined defense right there. That's pretty good. Jordan Young and the safety and the corner all go inside. Look at the corner; they're all getting blocked. Josh,
Mhm.
this is where DJ or Mallet or someone be like, "Hey man, y'all clean your stuff up." Like, that's bad.
Right.
Byron, and look how slow Wooden is to go, and then he misses the tackle. I'm about to throw this computer, man. Like, our defensive line's finally getting production, and Quincy Rhodes is making sacks, and Sori's putting pressure, and and you get
Matt,
this. They call
this
this
has been
baby
all my
duster.
issue with him all season is that I feel like
They took him out. They took him out.
he's not a guy that wants he acts like he wants contact, but I don't
I
think he
know.
really does. I think he sells out
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
effort fashion so that on
Right.
film it doesn't look like he's not attempting for contact here, but I mean,
Film don't lie, dude. This
I
has
haven't seen
happened
him lay
too
a hit all
times.
season, and hey, maybe he
No.
starts to do that, and I eat my words this next week. Hopefully so.
Josh, we practice that play. It's a sideline angle tackle drill. Me and Mike Smith used to do it all the time. I always wanted to go against Mike because he was the fastest guy in that area. That's you have the sideline. It's an angle tackle. You guide him out of bounds.
Mhm.
If he doesn't want to go out of bounds, then you get physical with him. I mean, it's nasty time. Like this right here, Josh. You shouldn't be diving at his feet. I didn't wear gloves in the game because more times than not, you're going to be in that situation than you are going to get an interception.
Right.
And I wanted to get that guy on the ground. Right now, you're going to, he's going to probably fall forward and get a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, but let's play
But Matt,
football.
and what again, I'm gonna harp on this.
And he made the tackle. You didn't miss the damn tackle, and he gets 10 more
I'm
yards.
gonna move on from it because I don't want to harp on it too
I know.
much because I know that some of these guys watch the show. But look,
I
he's
know, but
there.
dude, that's what they're saying when they're
He
in the film. We're not saying anything that coach
right.
didn't already say.
But
So I know it's not fun to hear again, guys, but you're a big
he's
time
there to
player.
make
You
the
got to make that
tackle.
play.
He's got the right
Yeah,
angle.
he's got
He
the
can
right
put the
angle. He's got,
hat across the body, and he could
yeah.
hit this guy and take him down. But he
The
sells out a lot for less contact
the
type tackles. He
the
leaves his
only
feet
thing I will
often.
say The only thing I'll say in his defense was his nickel corner and his corner screwed him. They let an SEC running back, who is a really good running back. I know they don't have like a high power offense, but like he's a good running back. I That's what I did. I watched running backs and quarterbacks. So quarterbacks were very poor. Their running back was good. That was one of the issues I had. He had like 150
Right.
yards because of plays like that, where he would set those guys up in our corner and our like those guys did kind of screw over Wooden in that regard, but no excuses. Get him on the
Yeah.
ground. I don't care. Another time here, look, guys, when you have a tight end and a bunch set, alert, alert, alert. If it's a run to you, someone get outside and just shove it back in, Josh. It's when I say it's not hard for an SEC defensive back. Jordan Young tries to. Did you see him? He tried to run outside. But look at the corner again. Their corner, Kanai Walker. Yeah, this is Jordan Young. So when you're Kanai Walker here and you're watching your number one receiver, because if it's a pass play, you got him man to man, basically.
Mhm.
When you see him go and block Jordan Young, it's a run. There's a thing called crack replace. If your defensive back, he doesn't really get cracked, but he goes and gets blocked, you replace. You're now the edge. So Kanai Walker, I don't know why he's taking so much time to come downhill when it's a clear run to you, dude, to the field. Stretch it out. You don't have to go knock this dude out. You don't have to go toe to toe with him. Like, get outside now. Like, you should be right. Like, honestly, Josh, he should be on his hip.
Right.
He should be on his hip. And now he's going to get reached 2 yards past the first down marker. And look at him. And again, Wooden kind of gets hung out to dry. So, like, I'm not a fan of diving at the feet ever, no matter if you guys leave you out to dry or not. But again, corners, nickels, you guys, nickel defensive back, you're that slot receiver, you're the force. You force it back into your linebackers and your safety. That's what makes the alley.
Mm-hmm.
If the force is gone, now the alley widens and it's like, uh-oh, not a good place for a safety to be, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense. Here we are on 2nd and 8.
Boom, baby.
This is what you wanted. This is what we've been looking for all season. And I know that Petrino was talking about this. He was like, hey, we finally get one, but then the offense doesn't show up.
I know. And hey, go watch Petrino's post-game interview. I mean, he sums it up beautifully. The offense played like crap. The defense played great. Offense lost the game.
Yeah. Matt,
that's why these guys, if they watch this show, fellas, we love you. We've been in your chairs. Don't take it personal. Defense had a great game. But if you want to have an even better game and beat Mississippi State, I know you're getting coached on these plays.
Yeah.
I know you are. This was a great play. One of my keys this week was, hey, take a peek, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there off corner, Walker. I mean, 1-3, dude. You're a good corner. Take a peek before the ball's in the air. This is how good things happen. If he just runs up to that man and makes sure that I'm not going to make sure he gets away from me this time, that's elevating your game. That was a key 2 weeks ago. It's like, hey, elevate your game. Elevate your game. Take a peek at the quarterback. If you get a turnover, this stuff happens. The fact that we lost this game, Josh, holding them to 6 field goals and getting 7 points for our high-powered offense, I think is the reason why you felt the way you felt.
Yeah.
And probably the majority of Hog fans, myself included.
Yeah. It was rough, Matt.
Yeah.
It really was. Because you're looking at this right here. Here we are, third quarter.
I did.
Third quarter, 21-10. And you're thinking that man, we got all the momentum in the world coming out of half,
Right.
Here we are. We just need to maintain it. I don't know how everything fell apart so fast.
Run gap discipline, Josh. That's been a thing for us all year. Look at our linebacker, our play side linebacker. The running back is going to run right there. And again, hindsight's 2020, but I know right now that run gap discipline, I don't think you're supposed to be shooting up and getting stacked. Our play side linebacker, Sori, almost makes that play. Caleb Wooden actually comes up and makes a decent play. There's an empty gap here. Is that Brandon Shaw, who's a great player? I'm a huge Brandon Shaw fan. They get caught up in the wash. That's been a common theme for us all year. Stop rushing. If you're blitzing, blitz, dude. Pull your trigger. But look how fast he is up to the line. And look at Sori. Sori has learned his lessons. Ole Miss, Memphis, he played not so great. He get caught up in the wash is what we call it. Look how far up
Shaw plays really aggressive on these run plays, and he does often get caught up in the wash with these offensive linemen that go get to the second level.
Yeah. And you have to take your chances. I'm sorry, not take your chances. You have to time it up perfectly. When you're that play side linebacker, if you don't get caught up in the wash, you're shooting your trigger now. That hole's going to open up for you. He's got to have a little more patience because that's his gap. You can tell that the linebacker down on the line here, he's got outside contain on the tight end. He does a good job. Oh, that's Shaw. So I guess that's Dix.
Yeah, looks like it's Dix. I think I see a 4 there.
Yeah, because Shaw sets a good edge. The tight end and him are just locked up.
But your safety's got to hit this because it's clearly a run, right?
Yeah,
think quick.
And does. Yeah. So Wooden is coming downhill. That's about as good as you can do it, and he gets him down. So you know what, Josh? I'm giving you a plus on that play, Caleb Wooden, and not a negative because you made the tackle.
Yep.
Because our linebacker missed his run gap responsibility. So would I like to get him 2 yards quicker? Sure. But here we go, 2nd and 8. We're still up 21-10 this third quarter here. You got your motion into the flat. What we like about this play, Josh, is the communication between our defensive backs. You're going to see Jordan Young run with this guy. He's going to travel with him. And you see Kanai Walker already start to bark at him.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy likes it. Okay. They're not confused. They're not all looking around. You can see panic. You can see it. And so can offensive coordinators. Now you got this guy man to man, Kanai. All right. Your momentum's going outside. You can make a break on the ball. Let's see what happens.
You know what?
To
And
the
Matt,
ground.
we talked about this previous
Yeah.
weeks. Open field tackling,
On the
making sure
ground.
that we're doing that. We're getting these guys
On
down.
the
You
ground.
give up a ball like that, okay, we live to see it. We live to, see something else
On the
without them
ground.
scoring a touchdown.
Get him on the ground.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm just happy to see that here.
Could he have been closer on 2nd and 8 with a deep out route? Sure.
Mhm.
He already had a pick 6 in the game. He's done a good job. He's not having a bad game. His energy, his psyche's in the game. He's feeling himself right now. But look at his break. Wrong foot, high shoulders, lazy break. Right? In the NFL, dude, that's what they teach. And that is not even what they teach. If you don't make it, you don't make it. They really don't teach it. If you don't know how to backpedal and break off the right foot, then man, they're not coaching you. They're just benching you. And you're in college, like this is the stuff that's going to fine tune your game. Your shoulders are too high. You always want your shoulders over. I mean, his break was very lazy, but his open field tackling, again, I'm giving him a positive. There's just coaching tips and coaching points within every play. He made the tackle. That's fantastic. Sorry up top again into the boundary. I love this. I hope we see it. I don't know if Big Cam's coming back or not. We can need him. Imagine having Cam Ball, Quincy Rhodes, and Sorey rushing the quarterback now. Like that's stuff dreams are made of.
Yep.
Look at this. He just bust through a double team. Quincy Rhodes did. And now, let's run this back, maybe. Watch both of these guys into the boundary. So you got Quincy Rhodes and Sorey on the same side. We never did this. Well, but not on purpose. Quincy Rhodes is kind of an interior position right here again. He's on that 3 technique. And then they just blow by this guy. Look at this. Both of them, they do that little stunt again. Quincy Rhodes forces him off the spot. And then Sorey comes out to make the play for a loss. Josh, this stuff is what excites me. This is the stuff that I want to tell these fans. Hey, y'all, listen, like these guys watch the message boards and it hurts their feelings, whatever you want to say. They have the talent. Stop saying it. That's a great defensive play by 2 of our really good defensive players. The upsetting part about this season is they haven't been producing like that versus the Ole Misses, versus the Memphis. Throw Notre Dame out. Say that was your one game that you get just blown out. You win Ole Miss and Memphis and get blown up by Notre Dame, you don't get fired. Your season's not changing. Like, it's the same team.
Right.
Why are they doing this now?
Yeah.
So these 2 guys are turning it on. They're playing football out there. 1st and 10. Into the 3rd quarter, we're still winning the football game.
Matt, this is a couple of plays here that are, I think, coming back to back here, where when you sent them over to me to kind of take a look at, first thing that stood out to me here was kind of how our defensive line is offset to their offensive line. That they got a lot of room, not only to work with all the field here, but also with the lack of defenders that are lined up here. So it's kind of an obvious thing. Even if you didn't come out in this play, you would definitely audible to a run right now, because look at the hats there. It's just, you're outnumbered.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a decently good point, Josh, because, and this was actually played better than what we'd seen. You could tell that these guys were getting coached up. You're going to see Jordan Young come off the slot, and he's going to make a little pressure. But you're exactly right. When there is a tight end on the other side, and so sometimes you shift D linemen and linebackers opposite. But there's another play I think coming up, or in 2 plays, where it's even worse than this. So these 2 guys, you can tell that I don't know if that's Quincy Rhodes. He's trying to get his head across the bow, right? So you can tell that that's his gap. It's an interior gap, and that's why you see, I think that is Dix, trying to go on the inside of that linebacker. That tells me, look at Caleb Wooden here and Jordan Young at the bottom of the screen. One of them, look, so that's good. Look at those 2 guys. 22, Caleb Wooden is on the inside of one, getting blocked. And Jordan Young, that was that play 2 days before. And I was like, he needs to be on his hip. That is exactly where he needs to be. That's not bad, Josh. But Brandon Shaw, or not Shaw, Dix Jr., the tight end gets too much of him. Jordan Young comes in a little late. But that right there, it shows me that we're growing. But again, the alignment does frustrate me, because if those guys don't have the force, Wooden or Young do, and they need to know if it's run to me, I'm there now. And Jordan Young's a lot better here than he was, like I was saying, kind of a few plays ago. So it's a good example of like elevating your game, right? Shaw or Dix Jr. If you can just take that tight end and not let him push you back 3 yards, he's the furthest guy
Right.
back. Look at all the defensive line. Like, look at our defensive
Mhm.
linemen. They're all getting worked over right now. I think because they were going across face, Josh, and the run was going away, so those linemen just let him go and pushed him. So they caught us in a slant, I think. So we were slanting across the ball. It it looks like because you can tell Quincy Rhodes is trying to get across face of that guard,
Yeah.
which means the linebackers now got the C gap in between the tight end. So he's got to get in there, but go take that space and go make a mess. Shoot your gun is what they call it. Pull your trigger.
Now, Matt.
This was the one that really concerned
Yeah.
us. Look at that. You got the tight end on that side,
Right.
Josh,
This is and
and
so
your
this is
linebackers.
when you sent this play to me, I was like, all right, listen, I got to make
Yeah,
some graphics for this because first
yeah,
thing I noticed, obviously, is like, why do they have this
yeah,
heavy set to the left side of the field here and we're not matching it up? I mean, clearly you've got all the field to work with here. You've got extra blockers over here. You've got,
yeah.
your outside linebacker lined up way too far inside. And I wish, I don't know, it's kind of an odd angle, but it seems like our defensive end over there is just, lined up on the
Just
tackle,
really tight.
right?
He's lined
Right.
inside, so he's almost like a 3 technique, or he's a wide
And
5 kinda right now,
and then when I
so
watched this play, the first thing that I noticed, because like, okay, well, maybe this you know, this
yeah,
rover or this
maybe the
corner over
slot
here
has
can come off the
force
hash here and
because
make
he's
a
inside
play.
leverage.
Yeah.
Right.
But this receiver runs a good route, but it's a dummy route. Again, you'd call this
It's
play
dummy
every
route.
day of the week. Outside release, he gets his back turned around, and our safety over here is peeking or at this wide receiver the entire time. So I'm gonna run it through one time and then I'll let you break this down for us here.
Yeah, really, really confusing to me. I don't know why Caleb Wooden is staring at the number 2 receiver like that unless they're doubling that guy. The right side of the line, thank goodness, I think this is Sorry or I think Sorry's on the line down here, but the nickel and the safety here, it looks like they're doubling this guy because you're right. Like usually that nickel, if he's got inside leverage, you can see he's on the hash. He's kind of like inside of that wide receiver. Usually that means I've got inside breaking routes. That tells me that it's man to man. Jordan Young is playing man to man with that corner.
Right.
So Caleb, unless he breaks like outside of Jordan Young and gets to you, it tells me that you're supposed to be down creating the force. If run to you, you're force. They're in the red zone here. Caleb wouldn't, I don't know why he's staring at this guy. And then he switches back. That's what it tells me that he had a late read.
Mhm.
Once he switches back, he's like, uh-oh, it's a run. He's late. And thank goodness for 1-4 over there, Mr. Dix Jr.,
Right.
to come off that tight end and cover for him, right? Like he wasn't responsible for the force, but go be a player, elevate your game, throw the guy off, shed the block, and make the tackle just like you did, because that would have been a touchdown. That's an open field. Caleb Wooden again, just he won in the game. I don't feel like on this one. I think he came from Auburn. I think he was shook. He was out there jawing with a couple of dudes, and he had 10 tackles. He had a productive game, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I think he doesn't show up when his number's called, especially on plays like that where a force edge, and that's on like if you're a safety in the run game in the red zone and you've got the edge and you've got the force, pass is secondary because Jordan
Right.
Young was so tight on that guy. So, you know, really good game. 6 field goals, 3 sacks, Quincy Rhodes, Sorry Jr., really productive defensive line, right? Take a peek, Kanai Walker, pick 6 to the house. A lot of things to like and to build on in this game, Josh. But the run stuff, man, I wish we ended on a good note. The
Yeah, well, I
run,
wanted I wanted to, end on a good
bring
note. I just
everybody
couldn't
back
get
down.
that final play in there, but I did have a couple questions for you, Matt. If you could
Yeah,
make, a single adjustment
yeah.
for this
Great question.
for
I already know
this
the answer.
for this, defense going into playing Mississippi State's RPO,
Yeah.
what adjustment would you make? Or what takeaway from the what they did well would you keep,
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you would adjust?
I would absolutely keep Sorey in a rushing position,
Mhm.
probably pairing him with Quincy Rhodes. It starts there in the defensive front. Throw Cam Ball in there, even better. Let's party. That pairs with my back end. You either go to a one high safety and roll the dice with an RPO offense because those guys do that crap, which is illegal 10 years ago. They changed the rules where a lineman can come up to 3 yards, and but it's like, what in the world? We can't touch them, and they come get like. Don't get me started. Can I do another 30 minutes of my rant on modern day offense? But I would put a whole player in, Josh, not to spy the quarterback, but to create some outside leverage where the safeties aren't so worried about maybe getting beat in the pass play, or I'd
Mhm.
roll to a one high safety. I would mix between, I wouldn't just show one high safety, but I would have a safety just be walking down a lot. We played Mississippi State. They had a running quarterback, so it's a different offense. But same principle, if they're going to run the ball a lot because you look like you have a weak edge, and we did, and we do, and we have all season, then by God, roll down and do a one safety high look. That tells the linebackers, hey, I used to tell Jerry Franklin every time, hey, I'm down right. I'm down right. If I'm down right as a safety, he
Mhm.
knows that I'm holding it. I'm 12 yards back, but I'm on his right side and I got the force. And if that
Right.
ball bounces outside, that's Harris's fault, not Franklin's. Got it.
Mhm.
If that means the linebackers on the left side, they've got the force. So if you guys mess up, now it's on you.
Mhm.
So it's all about the camaraderie in the locker room, the leaders on the field, the communication like Kanai and Young had out there when that receiver was coming across. There's a lot of good things to keep rolling on. I think like the Sorey and the defensive line pressure. But I hate seeing these teams run the ball on us, especially on those weak edges, because Josh, we're sitting here breaking it down in half an hour, and every single time there's a weak edge, there's a soft edge.
Yeah.
People have been watching film. You know that you can run the ball on Arkansas on the outside. And usually it's the opposite. If a team busts one up the middle, Alabama style, man, that hurts. That sucks. But
Mhm.
that's usually the quickest way teams bust one. When they go on the outside edge, that means someone's messed up. All you got to
Mhm.
do is stretch the play into the sideline and then run them out of bounds.
Right.
It sounds simple because it kind of is. For those guys at that level, if they're doing their job, they should be escorting those running backs out of bounds. And
Well,
if they come
hopefully
back inside, that's where it's nasty time.
hopefully Cam
There's a
Ball's
difference.
back and it kind of fills out our defensive line. And
Yeah,
but at the same
I do
time
too.
allow us to still use Sorey at that hybrid
Yeah,
edge rush
that's
position.
huge.
But hey, I
Yeah,
gotta who would you say,
yeah.
who is Matt Harris's number one Razorback
Mm.
defensive player that changes the game when they play their best?
Ooh, great question. A guy that it wasn't like he wasn't high on my radar, but Julian Neal is a guy that I think has the ability to play at a high level.
Mhm.
I think he's got great ball skills. I think he has the ability. I don't know about like his top end speed and stuff right now, but it seems like he has the ability to take a good receiver and give him some fits.
Mhm.
But I think if our leader, double salute, 1-0, Sorey Jr. plays a good game, he can affect the quarterback in the pass, he can affect the run game. Linebackers are an extension of that defensive line. They're in the box. If he plays like he did in Auburn, I think he's a guy that can create a turnover for Mr. Neal or Mr. Walker again this week because of that bad ball. That quarterback's running off his back foot. He throws a bad decision across the middle. Oh no.
Right.
It's the thing defensive dreams are made of
Mhm.
because Sorey Jr.'s in there just barking at that dude. And he had a productive game. He had a quarterback hurry. He had a sack. He created another one for Quincy Rhodes, basically. I mean, I think if Sorey plays lights out, our team, our defense plays a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I think this weekend it's not what do they say, bend don't break. I think it's just like bend less, you know.
Hey,
Probably
hey, play
something
like
like
you did
that.
versus Auburn.
Yeah. No,
I
seriously, if we
keep
can
this
and
still.
Arkansas Razorback offense can show up the way that they're supposed to show up, and this defense could play
Yeah.
close to the way we just played Auburn.
Yeah,
Um,
close.
yeah.
You're not holding no, I don't care if you're A&M or Vandy's actually got the best defense in the league right now. Not many
Mhm.
people hold teams, any team, to 6 field goals and
Right.
get a pick six. That's a hard week to produce and multiple sacks, multiple tackles for loss. You go look at our hard losses, man, we had like 1 sack or none, no tackles for loss, no pass breakups, no picks. Like, that's a long game for an average defense. But this was a fun game, man. Like our fans should be encouraged and excited to see if we can do it again because we all know, can you stay on top? Right? Consistency is a sign of a champion. Can you stay on top of that mountain? Can you still be
Yeah.
productive? Can you go out there and play the same game versus a team that's frankly very beatable?
Yeah.
Now, I will say I think they're better than Auburn. They out of their 4 losses the last 4 weeks, they've lost twice in overtime and another 3-point loss at Florida. So I mean,
Right.
Mississippi State's a good team. You don't it's the SEC, man. Don't mess around
Yeah.
and find out. Just play good ball.
If there's ever a season that's more like evenly talented,
Yeah.
but yet you don't see it from the rankings. I mean, Auburn has taken it the distance with just
Yep.
about every team they played.
Yep.
We've taken the distance
Yep.
with just about every team we played.
Yep.
Some years there is just a big gap in talent. This is one of those SEC years where
Yep.
everybody's good. The ones who pull out the last second touchdown, you know,
Yeah.
if it was boxing,
Yeah.
we'd be talking about rematch right now, right? Like
Yeah.
we'd be like, no, we
Yeah,
want
let's
a
play
rematch.
Tennessee again. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not.
So uh I don't know, man. But I'm gonna finish it on this.
Yeah, give me
If
something to love on.
if Bobby Petrino, if
Yeah.
he can stack just like one right now, one mistake free win,
Uh-huh.
right, against a SEC
Give me
team,
one, man.
maybe two.
Yeah.
Um,
You can go beat Texas.
conversation changes, I think, from you know, you know, can he be the coach? Should he be the coach? To you know, we should you know finish what we've started. That's going to start being the narrative. Like he's already started the movement. All he's got to do is start winning one or two, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you, the Arkansas fan base, the media narrative is going to say, you know,
Yeah.
let him finish what he started, and Matt Harris is going to say, "Who's your defensive coordinator?" So I'll finish on that because
Fair
it's true. It is
question.
true.
Fair question.
Yeah, it's very very fair question,
Don't
Matt.
judge
We
me,
talked about that a
fans. If
lot.
y'all just want Bobby P. And I mean, look
Yeah.
at Tennessee, man. They've got the most points against in conference play and the most points for. And Vandy's sitting top 10 because they got the least points for, but the best defense in the SEC. It's wild to say
Yep.
that about Vandy, but I'm with you, man. I think at the end of the day, if Coach P can put together some good like second half worries me. I want you next week game. I want to see how many second half points we score because this isn't his first year. This isn't his first year at the offense. He's our offensive
Right.
coordinator. Coach Pittman has never been calling plays for Coach Pete. Not
Right.
ever. He's
Yeah.
been at the helm for 2 years now. He's got the best quarterback in the country now for 2 years. They're jiving right now. So this isn't the whole like, oh, wait till he gets his staff and his players. Boy, he's got his staff and his offense for sure rolling this year.
Yeah.
And with that being said, the second point or the second half point total frightens me. Are we number one in the SEC and number 4, 5, 6 in the country because 75% of our yards come in the first 2 quarters, 3 quarters?
Mhm.
I mean, it's something that again, we're searching for a head coach for a big time program. We need to be objective. Who's our defensive coordinator is my number one question. Because I know Coach B's gonna score points.
I know. And
But
Matt,
can we
we're
score 'em in
I'm
the
gonna
second half?
I'm gonna dive into the coaching stuff probably on Friday. I might just touch on the
Yeah.
Mississippi State
Yeah,
game,
forget
and then we'll
scouting
get
state.
into the coaching. So I might send you a
Yeah.
link and see if you want to just jump on and give me your 5 minutes. But
I wanna see. Go
yeah,
get Texas's defensive coordinator. Sarkisian's going to the NFL, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's the Wild West of football. Go grab somebody and let's play football.
it is. But it just got a lot harder with all the
I
coaching changes.
know.
So all right,
Don't bum us out. Leave us on a
yeah.
good note.
Tomorrow we will be having a scouting report,
Yeah,
probably talking a little bit more in depth about coaching changes, what Petrino has to do.
it's
Can he
wild.
go get a good defensive coordinator? We'll just talk about all the what
Yeah,
ifs, but like the realistic what ifs, who's really on the coaching board,
yeah,
if there's a board, and
yeah.
what it really looks
Is
like
there a
for
board,
hiring a
Josh?
coach. Yeah, I don't know. Right.
Right.
I don't know. I got lots of questions, and we'll be talking about that Friday show. And then Saturday, make sure you guys join us. We will be live. Is it Fayetteville? Fayetteville game, right? Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
live in
fun
Fayetteville.
game, man. Go
At
fans and
the
stay to the end.
yeah, we'll be live at the Arkansas Alumni Building. Matt will be tuning in with us. Grant Cook will be there. I'll be there. DJ will be there, setting up bright and early. So we will see you guys soon. But before we go, thanks to Oaklawn Sports for sponsoring the show. If you guys have not downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, go do it. Matt's got his finger on it. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.